Veni Vidi video. I came, I saw, I videoed. I'm Diane Curran, and in this series, we scurry around ancient and modern history in search of what makes marketing tick. Independence Day. In the U.S., it's known as the 4th of July, and it'll be celebrated in 2016 in the shadow of the surprise Brexit vote in Great Britain's United Kingdom, resulting in the choice to leave the European Union. A 21st century variation on revolution, perhaps? But back to the American colonies. Were it not for the French, July 2nd might never have yielded success. France bankrolling a revolution was a major thorn in Britain's side, and most importantly, the French were a key supplier of much-needed gunpowder. They and Spain even forced Britain to fight on 3 fronts at once, and by land and sea. Wait a minute, July 2nd? Well, that's when independence was proclaimed, no less than Benjamin Franklin was convinced that July 2nd would be remembered evermore. Instead, we celebrate the day the written document was signed on July 4th. We're nothing if all about the writing, eh? The movement was a pioneer among viral campaigns, something marketers like to claim is a 21st century phenomenon, but hey, it started way back then. More than one if by land, two if by sea, broadsheets and newspapers spread the news far and wide, or not just the 13 colonies, but Europe, and quickly. I grew up in Menotomy, Massachusetts, as it was known during Revolutionary times, very close to Boston, now named Arlington. It was a key scene of the very first day of fighting during the start of the American Revolution. Patriotism back in Boston when I grew up, it wasn't something I heard people chest beating about. You grew up with it in your bones, not on your sleeves. Visiting the graves of those who fought and seeing where they lived, it made a permanent imprint on everyone I know. Several times a year, we found ourselves walking those leafy trails. Talking politics, it was as natural and as frequent as breathing. Oddly enough, with a dyed-in-the-wool Democratic dad and a Puritan roots Republican mom, politics was one of the most civilized forms of debate at our house. Oh, for those days, eh? Presidential elections were a time for canvassing to get out the vote, sure, but local elections, wow, they were just as important and so much more passionate, neighbor to neighbor, in a town so proud of its town meeting form of government. Patriotism and honest politics mashed together for me into the quiet but unflagging commitment to ideals that I see caring Americans everywhere aspire to, based on compassion, respect for others, and the impulse toward generosity. May these ideals reclaim their power and prevail in our modern 21st century and very volatile world. So why does such history matter to modern marketers? Well, as the writer Jared Keller wrote recently in his blog post on Pacific Standard, which is at psmag.com, our first big story was a viral story. Wishing your own message would go viral? I can imagine. In this series, we're exploring the power of storytelling that engages your reader or listener to proactively connect with you. To give it a more organic name, I've called it conversation, where you listen as much or more than you talk. If you want to know what matters to your market, ask them, very simply, whether in person, by phone, via survey, or social media. But make sure you give your conversational partner room to say what's so for them, not what you want to hear. And by the way, here's what I find. Structured phone conversations of no more than 6 to 12 questions, 30 minutes long at most. It's an ideal scale to hear what a member of your desired audience has to say. You want to listen up to 80% of the conversation. For many, this alone will revolutionize their marketing knowledge. Marketers take heed. Flag waving and fireworks, they're so much fun and infectious. Nothing like a good July 4th parade with marching bands, floats, balloons, and foot-tapping drums. Oh, I love them. But in our increasingly virtual culture, we live more of our lives online, separated from each other, even on holidays. So it takes more to connect these days, and it takes a willingness to start conversations, to overcome immeasurable cyber distances. Massachusetts politician Tip O'Neill, Speaker of the House from 1977 to 1987, famously said, "All politics is local." Well, let's consider that all marketing is local. We may not live next door to our customers, but treating people respectfully, as if we did, really, with humanity and care, makes all the difference, short term and long. Happy 4th of July. Veni Vidi Video is all about making marketing creative. In this series, we keep hopping into our time machine in the quest for heroics and harrowing tales, iconic symbols and events, and time-tested themes to bring to our modern marketing world. I'm Diane Curran, and I'm inviting you to subscribe to our channel now for more new videos to refresh your marketing at your own pace. And to learn more about what we're up to, do visit us at themarketingdeal.com. Thank you so much for joining us.